hello and welcome back. Again, my name's John Pagerly. I'm a host of Around Berks County, and we're talking about Muhlenberg Township. Many thanks to Steve Landis and Greg Didyoung for letting us bother them that day in February when we went out and did some taping. And also thanks to Gino at Monte Loro for showing us his stand. And if you haven't been to Monte Loro's stand at the Fairgrounds Farmers Market, you got to go. It's we were getting hungry watching that. Just outstanding stuff. So we're back here in the studio again. If you want to call in and ask any questions about Muhlenberg Township, feel free to give us a call. The number 610-378-0426. We'll take your calls. So that was fun. We had a good time coming out there that day and visiting. But we were talking about, while the tape was going, about maybe the 222 corridor and what it means for Muhlenberg. Who wants to chime in on that?
I sit on the Berks Municipal Partnership, which is an organization of all the municipalities in here, boroughs and townships and what have you, and we've been working with a lobbyist to try and get that 222 North finished. It's paramount to not only the people on the municipalities on this side of the city of Reading, but Berks County in general. Lehigh Valley is book solid with their real estate. There is no free real estate up there. Everybody's up there. Perfect example is I-78, Bethel Township, the little town of Bethel. They're prospering because a couple of warehouses have found a home there off their on-ramps. And that can happen here. There are a lot of people that we've lost deals through big businesses that don't want to put up with the aggravation of waiting in traffic at 73 and waiting in traffic at 662 on 222. So it is paramount for economic growth for our municipalities to thrive, not just because of the short trip from here to Allentown. It's because of jobs, period. The people that come down here with their companies are going to get Berks County residents to be employed here. And like I said before, I think it's paramount that we continue, and I know Christian Leinbach is working on that, trying to follow up on that and try and get a decision from the state for the municipal stimulus package to finish that. I think it's, like I said, it's paramount that that gets finished.
There's a lot of competition for that money, and
there is
you
a lot
have
of
to show that
for
who needs it the most, right? And hopefully you got to just keep screaming louder. Yep. Now the thing is, you know, as a lot of town, I mean, Muhlenberg has about, what, 17,000?
17,000
population.
Yeah, right.
Not growing a whole lot as far as people, maybe, right now, but you still have these costs and these services you got to provide, which keep going up. So you need that business space too, and without the right infrastructure, it's very hard to bring it in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think too. The one thing about Muhlenberg Township, I think that makes us a little unique compared to some of the other municipalities is we're not in a development mode, we're in a redevelopment mode. We have a lot of, we are built up. We have pretty much the real estate market is filled with the residential side of it. Commercially, we have some big buildings that we are getting, the NGK property, so familiar, and to Commissioner Murray's point about, you know, ease of access, what we do in our community. That's why it's so important. People need to understand we need to make Muhlenberg Township attractive for people to come, move in, want to work at those types of jobs. That's why it's important not only to have good roads, but to have a good park system, to have a good police department. You can't just have one and let all the other stuff go down to the wayside, or who's going to want to bring their business in. And we're constantly, with the help of great groups in the county, with Steve and Doug, looking at companies. We actually, unfortunately, just lost one recently that was looking to move into the township, but we have some stuff on River Road, Cott Beverage, that sits there vacated, that we work with, you know, our water authority and things of that nature. We're doing a lot to help try to redevelop our township and bring more jobs back in, and I think the Board of Commissioners is trying to make the community as attractive as possible. Now we just hope that things like the 222 corridor happen to make the whole area more attractive, because as we mentioned, we are right in the middle of it, and we have a good spot, especially NGK with the rail right there on it, and that's we can't tell you how much it's really killing our tax base, and we don't want it to be apartment buildings or, you know, another group of townhomes. We need a business to come in there, and hopefully an industrial business, and I don't think the board or the county would want us to look anywhere else but to do that.
You have shopping centers, but you can't have too many of those.
Sure.
I mean, but you have that.
I just wanted to say that it's very important for our citizens to know, too, that our commissioner, Mike Malinowski, sits on the Reading Area Transportation Study Group. That's the local municipal planning organization for liaison with PennDOT. And that's really the group that helps to understand and see how the money is spent through PennDOT and what projects really work and go in Berks County. And we are a voting member, which is really important. We've been that for at least 10, 12 years as far as I can remember. And I've been the alternate vote in case the commissioner can't be there, whoever that commissioner had been. And it's been really an insightful thing to watch how that all works too. People don't understand how difficult it is to divide up the dollars and how far they don't really go. There's a lot of state highways out there and a lot of bridges and things that still need repair, and so we're all fighting for dollars, and we represent first-class townships, but try to represent everybody in Berks at the same time. So yeah, we do have a good voice, I think, in that, and someone who's knowledgeable in money matters now that can help us understand that.
It's good to have a seat at the table.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
You need it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, and you know, the Muhlenberg's surrounded, but you know, a lot has grown out around you, which has created a lot of the congestion, a lot of the problems. So it's something that needs to be done, coordinated with other municipalities too. Right?
Well, at one point we had 22,000 workers come in and out of the township on a daily basis. So imagine the strain on our police services, and you know, when I don't know what that number is now, but I'm sure it's substantially less than 22,000. But we would like to see it get back there, because you know, there's local services tax and people that come into our community that also use our services. And unfortunately, the way the system works in Pennsylvania is our local taxpayers are the one who constantly get hammered and hit time and time again to pay for everything. So it's really genuinely, you know, always not fair that we have all this. We are in the middle. We have so many people come through our township and municipality, and the Muhlenberg Township residents really pay a lot to maintain some of that stuff. So we'd like, you know, to see the state and, you know, look at different ways to help, instead of mandating certain things on us, you know, helping us out to correct that. So
exactly. Let me just add to something that Mike said. Since I've been there, you know, I watched the place grow since '76 until now, and I also saw things disappear that I thought would never disappear, like GH Delp or the Wetterau, you know, food distribution center. It was a huge bonus for us to have that there. Wyomissing Paper Corp, you know, went away. The big one was AT&T, Western Electric, whichever way Lucent, you know, 4,000 jobs right there. Empire Steel went out of business. NGK went out of business. And you can go on, and each piece that goes, and I'd say we lost 7,000, 8,000 jobs over the years. And they didn't come back. And that's the problem. They didn't come back the way we thought they could come back.
And if you replace them with a shopping center,
you don't want to do that.
You don't. I mean, it's okay. You got some extra jobs, but they're not the same kind of jobs.
Exactly. It's not the better paying jobs. And I think people have to understand that Berks County and Muhlenberg Township still has a workforce that's very qualified. You know, these people are skilled, and they've lost the ability to use those skills, and they've gone other places. So that's a tough thing to lose.
And we hear all the time that we don't want industry near our home, and it's the average person, I think, is pretty much uninformed how the tax system works. If we lost our number 1 and our number 2 tax base with a gear and NGK leaving town. If we can fill those 2 spots, and we're actively pursuing that, although the NGK spot does come with some baggage in the form of contamination, it's going to be tough to unload that. But if we can get some tax base in the form of industry, that will lower the burden of raising taxes. And a lot of people don't understand that. The municipality needs tax money to run, and it's a lot better off on Joe Citizen if you have a company paying that.
Yeah, because the corporation and the tax base they create, but they don't use as much resources
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
based on the dollars that
Absolutely.
they're spending, which is okay. They're doing other things that they should pay more. But you know, but then what happens if you lose individuals who leave to find other jobs? You're eroding that tax base even more. The roads don't go away,
Right.
right? Everything else still has to get done.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
But
It really is.
now,